There's been a lot of talk the last few weeks about the Clinton Foundation and all of the questionable transactions and donations which have been taking place there over the years. I mean, it looks just like a money laundering organization. You know, while it's a great story to cover, a federal judge has reopened the email deletion case. Now, Judge Reggie B. Walton agreed to a request by the State Department and Judicial Watch to reopen the case since Clinton's admission that she kept all her emails on a private server, shielded them from legitimate open records requests in the process. Tom Fitton is the president of Judicial Watch, the group that has been vital to ensuring transparency in government and is the reason that this judge is even reopening this case. He joins us from D.C. Tom, thank you so much for being here. Good to see you. A lot of new information has come out in this process in which you had filed. There are 18 lawsuits out, 10 are active in federal court, 160 FOIA requests from Judicial Watch. That could be I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening here. And then there's new information that in March this year that you all had discovered as well that goes along with this. What are the latest developments? And then we're going to talk about where everything stands. What's the latest evidence? Because it seems like more and more things keep piling up here.
Well, it's extraordinary the State Department would agree with Judicial Watch that at least this newly discovered evidence would warrant the reopening of our Freedom of Information Act lawsuit. And that lawsuit specifically, Dana, was to get access to records about that. Remember that apology advertisement bill President Obama and Hillary ran just after Benghazi, attacking the internet video that had nothing to do with anything?
Yes.
That's what we were looking at. And we shut that lawsuit down last year after the State Department told us, well, we looked at Hillary's records, there's nothing there.
Oh, and that's convenient.
They didn't look at Hillary's records.
Yeah.
It is. And the State Department, rather than, you know, get in the way of the law, really, agreed to, you know, be seen on the side of transparency. But I can tell you, even though they agreed to reopen in this case, they don't want to look much beyond the records Hillary allegedly gave them, those 55,000 records. And they refuse adamantly to go after the records that may have been deleted, try to restore them, or other records that may be out there from other accounts that they don't still want to tell us about. So there's a lot to pursue here, but I can tell you it's our litigation that is going to be the best vehicle for getting it. We have this new case that's been reopened, the first time I'm aware of it ever happening. We've been doing this for 20 years. Yeah. Nothing ever like this has happened before, a judge reopening a case. We just filed 7 lawsuits last week to get at the Hillary records and other related material. So 18 plus another 8. We're really at 24 lawsuits now where Hillary's records are at issue with the State Department. And it goes from the Clinton Foundation stuff to the material on Benghazi to Huma Abedin and other more less well-known State Department scandals, which, again, they just were obstructive in terms of not telling the courts that Hillary's emails weren't being looked at. One
of the things that you all are examining is this work arrangement that Huma Abedin had with, or has rather, still with Hillary Clinton, because it's, you know, it's considered a controversial work arrangement in order for her to do government work as well as, I guess, moonlight and do other stuff through the Clinton Foundation. Give us a little insight into this.
Well, she was a special government employee, and she was a top aide to Mrs. Clinton, so she was able to get taxpayer dollars while working for this one of these Clinton Inc. type operations. I think it was Teneo. That wasn't the Clinton Foundation per se, but had been founded by Doug Band and someone else close to the Clinton Foundation in terms of who was a major funder. And it looked like she was working over there with this special dispensation, the special government employee issue. Again, one of those other cases that had been disrupted by their failure to search for records. So I can't tell you how disruptive this has been just in the State Department. You know, we had 24 lawsuits now, but think of all the other litigation the State Department's involved in. Right. Congressional investigations, congressional subpoenas that have been obstructed because of this. And what's a shame is that Judicial Watch is the only one in court over this in large measure. There's, you know, a lawsuit here and there from others. Congress is completely AWOL. They don't know what to do.
Right. And it just seems insane that you have to file the number of FOIA requests that you do, the number of lawsuits that you do, in order to hold a public servant who is already by law supposed to be transparent with all of this information to make them follow an already existing law, Tom? I mean, what am I missing here?
You know, look, she says there's no there with this Clinton Foundation material, again, which we had gotten most of the material about through our Freedom of Information Act lawsuit. But, you know, when you start your day, you start the beginning of your term as Secretary of State, creating a secret email system to do all your government business away from the American people and contrary to law, you know, that's shady business. And if she had nothing to hide, she would have been upfront about her emails, and she wouldn't have stolen records from the federal government and destroyed them.
Right.
So if you're destroying records and stealing records, it's usually an indication you have material and activities you don't want people to know about. Well,
Judicial Watch will find it. That is for sure. Tom Fitton, president of Judicial Watch. Find him on Twitter at Tom Fitton. Tom, thank you so much for keeping us updated with all of this. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.